We're going to use what's called primary sources. We're going to look at sources where you take a look at documents from that time and you analyze it and see what kind of conclusions you can make. But let's start with here. My name is Daniel Ito, and I'm a high school educator. And I came into contact with this resource as a reviewer. I looked at the resources in the high school level. The resource that I was using from the directory had many primary sources, historical sources. This provided a different way for students to learn about history in terms of the subject, Social Studies 20-1, which is nationalism, and looking at the internment of the Japanese Canadians. It seemed to me like the engagement in level class was quite good. They were analyzing the sources, they were sharing their information. I got the sense that they were doing well, that it was a good activity.
I liked being able to look at primary sources and see like actual relics of that time period. And it's also good to be able to build your own critical thinking skills by looking at direct references instead of like looking at textbooks or other secondhand sources.
One of the useful aspects of the directory is that it has the Alberta curriculum outcomes right there. Not only was it pointing out to the resource, but it said this lesson, right, or these lessons in this resource are useful for teaching this. We all know how busy teachers are. If they have this directory, it's there, right? It's like, oh, this is my outcome in my classroom. Here it is, and this is the part of the resource that I can use. So that's tremendously useful. Lesson 2 is really useful. I went to lesson 2 and used lesson 2 because that was the most useful. So in that sense, yeah, that idea of being linked to the curriculum and telling where to use it and how to use it is really useful.
The resources in the directory about the forced expulsion and dispossession of Japanese Canadians during World War II is a really important part of the grade 11 curriculum on nationalism. They really gathered really key primary sources that come from the time that was happening, not just during World War II and leading up to it, but also like 50 years before that.
From the perspective of a teacher who's been teaching many years, there's a tendency, you have your own style, you have your own way of doing things. So I guess in a sense, it can refresh your teaching. I found this exercise to be a good way of sort of getting out of the rut and trying a different way or new way of doing things. Or maybe some of your partners got some information you didn't, so quickly share what you have. Finding good material is maybe a little more difficult, especially when it comes to Japanese Canadian material. There's not a lot. Having a directory where you can access that much more easily is a definite plus.